Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Kelly Miller, and I'm the Customer Relationship Manager here at Canto. And today we're joined by Canto Account Executive Bo Nichols, and we are also pleased to have a customer, Christopher Williams from AmeriCares. Hi, Christopher. Thanks for joining us today.
Hello, Kelly. Thank you.
Great. So today we'll be speaking with Christopher about how AmeriCares uses Canto, and we will also get to see a quick Canto overview from Bo. Getting started here, digital asset management enables teams to keep branding materials relevant and easily accessible by centrally storing digital content. And with Canto, you increase the security, the organization, and the searchability of your digital assets. As a cloud based DAM tool, you can access Canto anywhere that you have Wi Fi, which makes it really easy to collaborate remotely. As we switch screens here, I would like to introduce to you our customer, Christopher Williams from AmeriCares. Christopher is the Multimedia Senior Associate at AmeriCares, and he will talk a bit about his experience with Canto and show how he uses the tool. So, Christopher, thank you so much again for being with us today. Can you tell us about AmeriCares and about your role there?
Okay, yes. So AmeriCares is a health-focused relief and development organization that helps people with both poverty and also disaster. We'll send money, medicine, supplies, and even people for anyone that is suffering from also like a natural disaster such as like Hurricane Dorian, a typhoon in the Philippines, or even an earthquake and the wildfires in California as well. So I'm actually on the multimedia team. We actually document all the work that AmeriCares does, such as photos, videos. And for me specifically, I'm the digital asset manager of the team. Any photos or videos that we get from the field, such as India, the Bahamas, Yemen, Iran, the photographers, the videographers will send them to me and I will put them on our system, which is on Canto.
Okay, very cool. So, what is the role that visual content plays at AmeriCares? I know you talked a little bit about you working on all of those stories, but yeah, what role does visual content play?
It plays such a big part because we actually get to document and show donors and people the work that we do. Where we work really hard in so many countries and we help out so many people. And it's important to document the work that we do so we can, show our donors, and so hopefully they can give us more money so we can help out more people, which is really big for us.
Yeah, great. So, yeah, moving on to Canto here, what type of assets do you store in your Canto instance?
So right now we actually store our photos and our videos. The photos that we store are, let me go to our portals real quick. All of our assets that we store are our AmeriCares photos, photos of our employees such as headshots, photos from our airlift benefit, which is our biggest fundraising event. We also have a best of photos for a collection of best of photos in our AmeriCares videos that we publish online.
Okay, very cool. So can you, yeah, go back to your library and explain a little bit of your metadata concept, like if you use tags or um, folders?
So this is our library in our portals. And so we actually store all the work that we do by country. So we have the Bahamas all the way down to Yemen, even the United States, United Kingdom, Turkey, South Sudan. We do all this work in all these different countries. And so the way that we sort them by is we sort them by country. Then when we click in the country, we sort them by year in 2018, 2019, 2020, of course. And then when you click on a year, you'll see all the work that we have done in the year of 2020 so far. So even though 2020 is coming to a close, there's still more work that we have to do. Um, and what we're able to do is when you click on a photo, we'll have the meta. So we have the file name, we'll have the description of the photo, and we'll also have our custom fields such as country, photographer as who took the photo, the year 2020, And this will also show you if the photo is released or not released. And we also have, is this, what type of asset is this? We like to keep photos, videos, and also our releases into Canto. And so the way that we actually were able to find both our photo releases and our photos is that we actually relate our photos to other photos, so we can find them a lot quicker. So as such as this young woman here, if I scroll down, I can find her photo release so that we can actually send these to donors. And so we can prove to them, hey, this is released, you can use this.
Okay, very cool. Um, so I know you have a portal. So in what ways do you typically share content? Is portals the only way that you share content, or do you use share links or anything like that? And who are you sharing these assets with?
So we actually share multiple different ways, but more times than not, we usually share a link. So for example, let me just grab some photos from Ghana in 2016. So I'll just grab a couple of photos that I like to look at. So here are about 3 or 4 photos. I usually press share, and I'll share a link with whoever. And so the people that we actually share links with is usually like our own employees, and even our employees share them with big companies to show the work that we do. So hopefully big pharma companies can donate medicine and supplies to us, and we actually get to prove the work that we do. That's just our portals. We also, another way to share it is also our main page as well. So this is just another way that all of our employees get to look through all of our photos. So we also share them with, we sometimes we even do share them on Dropbox and even all these other platforms that we use. But
Mhm.
more times than not, we usually send a whole email collection, and I'll just put someone's email as, maybe such as myself, have a messages like, check this out, and I'll keep the display information, and I'll submit it, and then whoever that we send it to, they will get an email.
Very cool. Okay, thank you for showing that. So, what does a workflow look like for you guys? So, who is uploading all of these images and who is downloading these images?
The photos that we get from all these different photographers, they send it to the multimedia team, such as myself and my colleagues. I'm really I guess, the gatekeeper of Canto.
Hmm.
So I actually get to choose what photos get to go into our platform. And so this is usually the workflow: is a photographer, let's say from the Dominican Republic, takes some photos and video. They'll send them to the multimedia team. From the multimedia team, I get to choose what photos I feel like are best, that are able to go into our platform. Then from there, I save it. I put in the metadata, such as keywords, tags, descriptions, and also the metadata such as the photographer and the year. Then from there, I will share it with our development team, and with their marketing communication team. They'll send it to any donors or people that are interested in learning more about AmeriCares.
Okay, very cool. Okay, so really quick, one last question. What have been some of your biggest wins with Canto?
Being able to do my job from home, I think that's a really big win. Or using different platforms such as Dropbox, SmugMug, all at once to send and just to lose photos, because that's how you lose photos really easily. That we're able to keep everything in one centralized location, and also being able to store both documents such as photo releases and photos, and being able to put them together. It's a really big win for it as well, because not only that helps me out, that also helps out our PR and media relation team as well.
Mhm. Great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Christopher. And with that, we will turn it over to Bo, and he will show you some Canto features.
Thanks, Kelly, and thank you, Christopher. I'm sharing now. So what I've jumped into here is the main library. The only screen I've skipped is the login screen. But in the effort of time, let's orient you to this main library, since as power users, admins, creative folks, This is really where you're going to spend the bulk of your time. Let's go through the orientation pretty quickly. So we're looking at this in my browser. I'm using Google Chrome, but we support all browsers. We like this one because it has a nifty Chrome extension. So if in any case, there are a few things that visually should be popping out to you just right away. So one, obviously you're going to see your logo, not ours, in the top left corner. Remember that this is a fully branded environment. Other things you may be seeing outside of your grid view here, which you can play around with. I know a lot of our designers are going to like to see a list view or perhaps get a slightly bigger version of the files they're looking at. On the left-hand side, something else you'll notice, folder structure. So upon migration, you're going to work with our implementation team to, one, pull your catalogs over, and two, most likely, actually think about how do we want to create a folder structure that makes total sense, that's intuitive for all of our different users. On the left-hand side, you'll also see a couple other smaller buttons that we may or may not get into. These are things that help you just day to day when you're doing work like duplicate checks or your clipboard or your collections. Again, let's just focus on some of the more high-level things. So to recap, we have the manual folder structure that we all know and maybe love. We have an automated version of the folder structures up here. So if you follow my cursor, these are called smart albums. So why do we have these and why are they smart? Well, when we look at someone's server and we see that their content is organized into a photo folder or a video folder, it doesn't always seem the most optimized way to organize that. So with the cloud product here, anytime you upload an image, a video, just a batch of files, Canto's system is going to read that extension and automatically drop it into one of these buckets. So if I want to get images really quickly, I would just click into here and see images. Same process for videos, audio. Documents would hold all your PDFs, Excels, etc. Maybe I'm a salesperson and I need a quick pitch deck. I'd probably just click into presentations. All your creative files will live in here as well. Some other things you're going to be seeing, hopefully you see this nice search bar here, and right underneath it a filter bar. So now that we know where everything lives, let's actually run through, okay, what is our life going to be like on a day-to-day basis? So visual content, marketing assets is the lifeblood. Every project we're working on is going to involve those. So the first thing you're going to want to do is find what you're looking for. And so there are two options in here that enable search. One of them, obviously, is the search bar. So how does this work? The search bar, think of it like a Google search. This is a global search that runs through your whole library and searches across all metadata fields by default. Let's actually jump into metadata while we're here. So a lot of you know that gone are the days of cramming as much stuff into a file name as possible, right? So with these different fields, what we're going to see is things like descriptions, free form fields where you can put any text you want. So you can see here we have a pretty on the nose description of what's in the file. We also have things like product ID, any details. If you're on the social media team, this will be this will be copy for your campaigns, literally anything you want to put in here. And I know a lot of our nonprofits actually put really, really detailed descriptions in here. Okay, enough about descriptions probably. Keywords. Now, what's different about keywords here in the SaaS product? Well, we want you to all work off a common vocabulary, right? This works for business continuity, for keeping everyone on the same page. So actually, this is a predefined list that your power user team will work strategically with the Canto implementation account management team to figure out what are some common themes to our content. We have plenty of resources on the blog about how do we want to think about keywords, but I like to think about it this way. Any asset coming into our library should fall into one of these buckets. So for a lot of you, this will be internal, external. If you're nonprofit, this may be kind of who, what, why, when, where sort of stuff. But the big upshot here is that these are defined. Now, how do we actually get granular, nitty-gritty, specific? Well, tags are a great way to do that. So compared to something like, let's say we chose the location keyword. In tags where you'd put that actual location, or put keyword of product, you'd actually put the product in here. So you can cram as much text as you want into here. And you can see here there's a lot. Now the automated version of tags are going to be smart tags. So again, Because we host on AWS and we're in the cloud, we have some smart features. So as soon as you upload an image, it's automatically going to recognize some tags and pre-populate those for. Now, if something doesn't fit as neatly into a box as a keyword or a tag, or if there's anything that you want to actually break out into a custom field, sky's the limit. So custom fields are great for capturing business-specific information, and they also really help when you go into search filter. So without looking at all these different ones, just giving some examples for calendar picking dates, ratings, URLs, multiple choice, single choice lists, color palettes, a lot we could talk about in custom fields, but think of this as your finest layer of precision. A lot of other stuff in the metadata we can talk about, obviously, since this is a branding tool, rights management, versions, comments, some more AI for you, all that fun stuff. Anyway, now that we know how the donuts are made, let's go find a donut. Okay, so when you go to run a search, the search bar is going to be wonderful in a couple different scenarios. Let me back up a little bit. Before I even type, you can see that this does work in a predictive fashion as well, a lot like Google. So I can have a helping hand when I'm going to search. Now, why did I type in red backpack? Well, this could be representative of two different scenarios. Either A, you know specifically what you're looking for. And so if you have that image or video, that piece of content in your head, search bar can help you map what's in your head to find out if it's there in the library. So either A, I know it's there, or two, sometimes you don't know what you don't know. I want to see if we have anything that would fit for a project coming up where I want a photo of a red backpack. Type it into the search bar, click enter, and instantly you're taking your library down a considerable degree. The more specific you are in the search, the more specific your search results will be. So let's use an example of maybe I'm Camelback and the search for red backpack actually brings up 1 million photos. Well, what do I want to do there? So I'm hovering over the search bar to get really fine-tuned into actually, not only am I looking for a red backpack, but I want to find a person wearing that red backpack. So this is what we call an advanced search. Now, another way to do an advanced search is to use this filter bar. Don't want to talk about this too much. It's pretty intuitive, just like when you're using an online filter. You can look for any stack of different search terms layered on top of one another. So common examples would be I'm looking for a certain file type of a certain theme with following subject matter in an approved fashion, created from a certain date, or even certain technical specs. There's a lot here that we can run through. That's search. Now let's say, okay, I found that perfect image I'm looking for. And in fact, I do really like this one. Could use some travel. Let's see. What am I going to do once I find it? Well, sharing is going to be a big theme. So if you hover over the share icon, you can populate an email, a share link, push into some cloud file hosting systems, some social systems. Let me show you how my favorite way to share works. When you click that share icon, here you can share out assets to anyone, whether they're internal or external, whether they're registered users or not. And you can actually curate this content and serve it up to them in a fashion that you want. So you have different layers of permissioning just based on this file. We can take a quick look at this. I think a lot of our customers know that rather than sharing one by one, maybe we want to create a whole portal environment that gives self-service, right? So internally, we're going to be doing share links, portals, or maybe even commenting at one another for our project teams, our creative teams, so on and so forth. A couple other examples I can think of for sharing would be maybe I actually need to use this content in a different platform so we can look at our integrations. Or maybe I want to grab this in a different rendition. So I can pull down this file, crop, resize, compress, even lock in these settings for my end users to make life a little bit easier.
That was perfect timing, Bo. Thanks again for that walkthrough of Canto. So after the webinar is over, you all will get an email with the recording of the webinar. And in that email, there will be a link to set up a time with a Canto product specialist to discuss your specific DAM needs. So definitely take advantage of the meeting if you think Canto may be right for your team. Thanks, Bo, and thank you again, Christopher. We really appreciate you just taking the time to walk us through how Canto is helping your team. And we appreciate everyone for joining us today. Take care.